How y'all doing? My name is Benvy, and I just got done watching Fallout, the Amazon Prime original series. And first thing I gotta say is, holy fuck, they actually did it, man. They did it well. I know that this is not this is a pretty late review. Fucking things have been hectic lately, so I haven't been able to get out one of these as quick as I'd like to. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and jump into this. This is for sure the best video game adaptation that I've ever seen. The acting was great. The main character, played by Ella Purnell, did an amazing job. As with Walton Goggins voicing the ghoul slash, lone wanderer type of character, Aaron Clifton Moten did a pretty good job as Maximus as well. This is a very surprisingly funny show as well. One of the things the Fallout game series is known for is its comedy, but I didn't know they were going to go full-fledged like My Hero Academia, action, comedy, drama, all right there together in a perfect blend. It was terrific. The fucking effects looked great. The power armor. Dude, that was something I was worried about given what their budget was, considering this isn't like a movie or anything like that. And man, it looked great. I like that the weapons looked realistic to the game as well, like they had the Max machine gun style assault rifles, the 10mm Magnum pistols, the laser guns, and even more obscure shit like the junk jet, like that was shown at the beginning of the series. That must have been tough to create. And it looked well made too. That's another great thing, is it was very consistent in the quality of the special effects. Like there was nothing that looked any better than anything else. It was all consistently great. The entire time I was watching it, I felt like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like, oh yeah, like whenever Dogme showed up, like, fucking Dogme! Oh man. Aside from some awkward moments, like especially towards the beginning of the show, the dialogue is very good. It stays consistently funny from beginning to end. A lot of shows can't do that. A lot of movies can't even do that. I like that it's one of those shows that doesn't try to dump exposition onto the people watching, because they know that the people who are watching are predominantly Fallout fans, so they basically say, hey, this is the information that you need to know for the series, and everything else you can find out by playing the video game. And it doesn't add story in a way where you think it's very, like, non-canon. It's not like a Naruto filler situation where you don't feel like it has anything to do with the world of Fallout. No, it very much is linked to the world of Fallout, but they do also make clear it's like, hey, this is a separate thing. A smart thing that they did is they made sure to have it in the perspective of a villain somewhere in the middle and a hero, in the sense of, like, because they can't do what they did in the games to where it's like, hey, this playthrough it's a bad guy, the next playthrough I'm going to do a guy in the middle, then I'm going to do a good guy. No, they compiled it all into three separate stories. You have the quote-unquote knight, the ghoul, and then the Vault Dweller, and I thought that was terrific. And they kind of go fluid and change, and you find out more about them, and that's very cool the way they do that, where they tie it all in the way they did. And the ending, I'll tell you this right, the ending does not disappoint. It was like chef's kiss there. I would say that besides like some characters' intentions not being consistent in the show, and just some of the dialogue just not being quite as good as it could be. Like, the awkwardness was kind of short-lived, and it's very minor to the point where I don't think it's as big as a deal as what other people make it to be. While it's good that they were being vague, I think there was some things having to do with the plot where they didn't need to leave it so up to interpretation. So I had to dock some points for that. I would just say it's more the characters' intentions being rather strange, and them not going thoroughly into why they were doing what they did and the decisions they made. You have some characters that seem like they're the stone cold worst, and by the end of it, even though you learn a little bit more about them, you don't learn enough to where it explains the reason why they went from stone cold worst to an okay guy. There's too much of that. Like, there's too much inconsistency in the show. That's the only fault I have with it, really. Like, there's a certain point where I'm not really sure I know who I'm supposed to be rooting for in the show, and towards the end of it, they still don't do a very good job of clarifying that, so I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. It was very fucking good, and I can't wait till season 2. Could have been a bit better, but almost perfect. Editor's note here, I forgot to give an outro, so if you could check out my other works, like my musical skits and things along those lines, and subscribe to me, considering I made all of this content 100% by myself, funded by myself, that would be great.